If you saw my last video, then you know my mom and I spent a few days exploring Acadia National Park, but the adventure didn't stop there. From Bar Harbor, we boarded a ferry and crossed the Bay of Fundy to Nova Scotia, Canada. What started as just a simple trip across the water turned into a few days of incredible coastal views, colorful seaside towns, amazing food, and an unforgettable hike. In this video, we'll explore some of Nova Scotia's most beautiful landscapes, wander through charming fishing towns, and see why this corner of Canada completely surprised us. So grab a coffee, sit back, and come along as we continue our Atlantic Canada adventure in Nova Scotia. All right, we have successfully boarded the ferry. It is much bigger than I expected. We're in the front part, but there's not a lot of people on it. I guess because we're not here in peak season, but there's really not a ton of people. It's very big. We got these huge seats because there weren't a lot of people. So we're glad to be chilling, resting. It looks like there's 3 different restaurants. So getting ready for a good voyage. Welcome to Canada. All right, we made it to our bed and breakfast. We're at Bayside Inn. Here's our Bayside view and our bed. And then over here is the bathroom with the coolest tub ever. So we're loving the bed and breakfast. Breakfast is tomorrow. Good night. All right, we got our bed and breakfast with a view by the water. Our host is so nice. All right, we just had a wonderful stay. How did you like it?
I liked it.
It was very wonderful. Everybody check out Bayside Inn in Digby. But our host of the bed and breakfast told us about a farmer's market that's on the way to our hike today. So we're gonna stop by the farmer's market in Annapolis Valley, something. It's 30 minutes from here. We're gonna stop there, maybe get some fresh fruit, and then go on to our hike. It is pretty cold and windy, but we were expecting this, so we'll be okay. We just went to the farmer's market and I got me a garlic grater. I'm going to use it for my tomatoes. This is from Spain. The man's daughter lives in Malaga, Spain, which I went to one weekend. So I got that, and then it also came with a brush. So I guess if I become a garlic person, I can use this, but I was going to mainly use it for my tomatoes. After a beautiful drive, we made it to the Cape Split hiking trail. We've hardly seen anybody all day, and there are a lot of people here. And there is the Bay of Fundy over there. Makes us feel a little bit better that there's a lot of people. So I'm finishing the other half of my banana bread because I'm always hungry from our bed and breakfast. Then we're going to get hiking. It is about 9-ish miles. It is pretty cold, but not as cold as we were expecting. So that's good news. All right, here we are. Here is the map. So we're here. We're going to go all the way down there and back. So you can see this is the distance. It's extremely muddy, so make sure you come prepared with your trail shoes. But it's kind of a fun adventure. Yeah. Very muddy. This is the lookout number 2. We just enjoyed a nice lunch overlooking the Bay of Fundy and Cape Split. There were a lot of seagulls. And so now we're going back. We're going back on a different trail. It kind of makes a loop. So this one will be a little bit shorter. But it's not as cold as I was expecting. I was expecting to freeze, but it's actually been pretty pleasant. So we're going to hike back now. Hopefully there's less mud on the way back. Our restaurant overlooked the Bay of Fundy, which has one of the most dramatic tides in the world. So it's low tide right now. And you can see it's very low, but it gets all the way up here. So it is a beautiful place to eat. All right, we just finished eating. Mine was very good, but we had to wait a very long time. I don't know if that is a cultural thing that we're not used to, or if that's just the restaurant. But yeah, I was very, very hungry. I was being quiet, so I wasn't mean, but the food was very good when it came out. So it was worth it in the end. Now we're gonna go back and watch a movie. Good morning. We had a lovely stay in the Apple Blossom Room. It is so fun staying at these bed and breakfasts because we were saying this morning it's almost like we're in a book or in Downton Abbey or something. We can smell the smell of the breakfast wafting through the air, and all we have to do is just walk downstairs. So it's pretty nice. But it smells really good. I'm sure it's gonna be delicious. So we're gonna go downstairs and eat our breakfast, and then we have a lot of stops planned today. If we just drove straight, it'd be 6 hours, but we're gonna do different stops along the way, get out and see different things, and yeah, last full day in Nova Scotia. All right, we made it to stop 1 of our day-long road trip. We are at Peggy's Cove, and we're gonna go out there to the lighthouse, which is the most photographed lighthouse in all of Canada. So let's go see if it's worth the hike. All right, it's windy, but we made it here to the lighthouse, and it's beautiful. There's a lot of people here, hearing a lot of different languages, which y'all know I love. But we're gonna go down here to see if we can get a better view. Here we are from this angle. It's very beautiful. And then we're surrounded by the ocean. I think I'm at the back of their picture. There we go. I can see why it's one of the most photographed lighthouses because it's white, it's pretty, the light is still going, so it must mean it's still in use, which I didn't know, so that's really neat. There's a lot of different shops around, so we're gonna go look at the shops. There's Mom. We're gonna go look at the shops and maybe get a warm coffee or tea. Here it is from this angle. Very pretty. Stop one, done. On to stop two. All right, we drove about an hour from Peggy's Cove and we made it to Mahon Bay, which is known for the famous 3 churches. 1, 2, 3, right here. So we're gonna go look around at the 3 churches and then we have a little drive to Lunenburg, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. All right, we made it to historic Lunenburg. It is beautiful. All the buildings are beautiful colors. And like I said, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So that means all of this has been historically preserved to certain standards. And I think it was one of the first founded colonies by the British when they came here, I think. Don't fact check me. But we're gonna go around, look at some of the shops, and I'll show you around. All right, we are down at the waterfront and we can go see the Blue Nose 2, which is this. It's the famous ship that is on their 10-cent coin. Now the sails aren't up, but we can go see the ship. Here it is right here. The Blue Nose 1, I believe, sunk. So then they remade it and here's the Blue Nose 2. So I know it doesn't hit the same as an American, but this is apparently something really famous and really cool. Here we are in the historic part. You can see all the different colors, all the ships. It is really beautiful. Here is the Fisheries Museum, which I've heard good things about. And if you go to the Fisheries Museum, you get access to this big old ship and you get to go inside of it. So we're deciding if we're gonna go in or not, but I've heard good things about it. So if you're in Lunenburg, this probably would be a good thing to do. We decided to go into the museum and it was definitely much bigger than I was expecting. I like seeing all the old ships. You can see up there and over here. It's really cool. There are no telling how many lobster traps we've seen over the course of the past few days, but it's really cool to see them up close. I guess they go in here and they can't get out. Poor guys. They're yummy though. So downstairs they had a model shop. I don't know if these models were made there. I imagine they are, but it is really neat. These are, I mean, very realistic models of these ships. And I'm sure I would get more out of this if I was a fisherman, but it's still pretty cool to me as somebody who does not know much about it. Okay, since we did decide to go in the museum, we did get to look at this ship, but they didn't call it a ship, they called it something else. A schooner, is that what they call it? Something like that. So we're gonna go look at it.
Yeah, one trip, we had 30 men. We lost power. Out of 30 guys, 4 of us knew how to steer because nobody was learning anything.
Right? I mean, why would they? There was no need, right?
All right, we're going to do a haul of the things that we got in Lunenburg. First, we stopped at a little art shop, and I got this little house. I thought it would be perfect to put on my shelf or something. I could definitely find a spot for it, but I thought it was really cute.
And I got these buttons. I can't wait to get home and make a jacket and put these buttons on it. Are they great?
Yeah, we got these from the same spot. Then we went to this other spot. It was this really nice lady who makes things, and she was so nice. She makes a lot of things out of bamboo material. So I got me a headband. I'll try it on. Thought it'd be perfect for coaching or anything because it's red like my school colors.
And I had to unzip my jacket to show you my blue and green because I told her, oh, my favorite colors are blue and green. She said, I can tell. And so she said, this hat fits me perfect. But she said, you have to do it a little sideways like this. But the coolest part about this hat, just a moment, it's reversible to my other favorite color.
Yay.
And denim, which I super love. And it's sideways like this. And there you go. I'm thrilled with it.
You can find her on Instagram. I think it's backwards, but it's Handmade Fashion by Melanie Fontaine. And her Instagram is Merversible Chapeau. I don't speak French. I will, if you can figure out how, it's this. But we like all of our things.
We're excited.
I love this headband. This would be good if my
Very
hair's
cute.
crazy. So now we have an hour drive. We're gonna go to, it's called Kejimkujik National Park. There's two parts. There's an inland and there's a seaside. They call it Keji for short. So we're going to the seaside part of Keji. If it's not raining or cold, we might do a hike down to a beach. If it is raining and cold, we won't. But about an hour drive there, and then from there it's another hour to the hotel for a night. So we're making pretty good progress.
Great progress. And I love my hat.
Come to Lunenburg. It's worth the hype.
Lunenburg.
Definitely worth the hype. If we see a moose, I'll cry. Happy tears. Or maybe scared tears. All right, we made it out to the lookout point, and that is the beach right there. All right, we made it down here to the beach. It looks like our beaches. It smells like our beaches, but it's pretty cold. We are cold and we have an hour-and-a-half drive after this to our hotel, but very cool that we came to a beach, because in Alabama right now we'd probably be at the beach, but we'd probably be way warmer than this. But really cool here, really beautiful. Glad we came. In just a few minutes, we are heading back downstairs to get on this ferry, the same one we came on the way here, to go back to Bar Harbor. From Bar Harbor, we're gonna drive to Portland, go to the LL Bean store, and then maybe even make a day trip to Boston, which will be fun. But thank you for following along on our Canada adventure. Make sure to stay tuned for more adventures, because in a few weeks, I'm going to Honduras, and I think I'm gonna do a video in Spanish, but I'll of course have one in English too. So make sure to tune in. See you soon.